There's some rumor going around too that Mads Mikkelsen originally read for a part in Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah,
and, like he just walked out, which I think is great.
I mean, good for him. He should just walk out. Why he doesn't need to be there? He has shit going on.
They pitch it to him, and he's like, "Oh no."
Hey everyone, this is Trailer Trash again. John's back from Space Fat Camp.
As you can see, didn't go so well.
He's here for a little bit, and then he's going to military school.
Yes, mime military school, where they train you to kill silently and to be a mime, basically.
Striped
Yeah,
turtlenecks.
yeah, the tactile neck,
Yeah.
like from Archer, which is a show we won't be reviewing on this show. Probably.
Eventually.
Probably not.
We'll get there.
We'll
If
get
they
around
post
to
a new season, we'll do
Yeah,
it.
which I think premieres next week.
Oh,
Is it?
then yeah, we might review it. Who knows? Anyways, neither of us watched Iron Fist, so we can't review that
We Iron Fist.
because it was garbage. But what we did do is pulled up the It trailer. John has already seen it.
Yes.
I haven't. I also haven't watched it all the way through.
I'm a big fan of the source material, big fan of Stephen King in general. I have read the book, I have seen the original a couple of times. Going into this, not the highest hopes. I was really excited when it was announced that Cary Fukugawa, whatever his name is, from True Detective was on the helm.
Oh no, Bill Skarsgård?
It was announced that he was having disagreements with the studio, undisclosed disagreements, and so he's dropped out of the project. They proceeded with it anyway. So, I mean, long story short, we'll get into it after, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to look. So, let's roll the trailer.
Alright, now we're watching the trailer.
Is that Dane DeHaan?
They aged him down. Like Robert Downey Jr.
Okay, so
How
this...
did the paper not melt?
Oh, it's covered in wax. Or shoe polish.
So the kid's just a dumbass.
Dumb and Dumber 3.
He trips and falls down the drain.
Hiya, Georgie. I can tell you right now, you're not going to top Tim Curry. Nobody's topping Tim Curry. So what's interesting is they're splitting this into two parts, and the first part is going to be the part of the book that they're portraying the past, and the second movie is going to be them as adults, probably the modern day.
Do they already have the adults cast?
Yeah, I think so. Don't quote me on that. Probably not.
Any of the kids from Stranger Things in this?
Actually, it's funny you say that. The answer is yes.
Really?
And it's going to bother the hell out of me. We'll get into that.
All of them?
It's just all of them. I'd actually love to see that the kids from Stranger Things try to fight Pennywise and just get wrecked. Where is he?
Why were they freaking out? They didn't even know what it was at first.
He's converting to Pennywise.
Oh wait, is that one of the kids from Stranger Things?
No.
Oh. Did that kid die?
Yes. Spoilers.
Weird.
So, to give you guys a little background on what the source material is about, is basically the book plays out kind of two...
Give me a second, I have to answer
Okay,
this.
so I'll ramble on. So basically, the story
Hello?
plays out two separate narratives at the same time.
Hi.
One of them set in the 1950s, the other one set, I believe, 30 years later in the 1980s. And so basically, it's a group of kids, and they discover that something in their town is killing mostly children. And it turns out that that something is some supernatural entity that the kids deem it. And so what it does is it takes the form of your greatest fear, you know, be that like a movie werewolf, the creature from the Black Lagoon, or like blood or whatever, and it kills you like that. It scares you real bad, and then it kills you and eats you. But its primary form, like the one that it spends most of the movie in, is this big clown called Pennywise. And so the other part of the book is years later, as adults, strange things start happening in the town again, and so the kids who are now grown up and adults and traumatized from their childhood experiences have to come back to the town and get to the bottom of it. You know, is Pennywise back, or is it a copycat killer, or something? And so what's interesting about this is, let me see if I can pull it up. It's, well, what I'm getting at is it's set in the it's not set in the 1950s, it doesn't look like. It looks like it's a little more contemporary in the 80s. And so, let's see if I could find it. This scene right here that we're watching right now with the projector, that actually corresponds to a scene in the book where instead of a projector, because obviously I don't think they had those back in the 80s, they've got a photo album. And so what happens is Pennywise, as you can see here, the pictures are morphing on their own. Pennywise is coming to the frame. He's going to pop out and attack him like he does in the book. So the good and the bad. I'm still a little hesitant. I'm hoping it's just the way the trailer's cut. Trailers cut to have a lot of jump scares, a lot of the kind of ooh spooky music that really doesn't really correspond to how good the quality of the movie is going to be. A lot of the time it's like if you're a hack director and you want to just kind of take the easy way out, like you don't have anything in your movie that's scary by itself. It's like, oh, I'll do a scary noise, or like really like high-pitched violin strings, that'll scare people. But this actually looks pretty good. The design of Pennywise himself doesn't look as bad as some of the production stills that they released did. I
didn't see any of those.
I
don't know anything about this movie.
I still think that he looks too explicitly evil. Like in the original one, it was Tim Curry, who's creepy as hell by himself. But like, part of it was that like, if you saw him from like a distance or even up close, like he didn't, like there's something just off enough. But he didn't look like an evil clown. Like you look at this one and it's like, that's an evil clown. Like that's the clown from the end of Zombieland. Evil clown. Other than that, the cast looks pretty good. I'm glad that they stayed faithful to some of the characters. The fat kid is actually fat. Kid with asthma looks like he has asthma. Only thing that I don't think they really got right, well, two things actually, is Beverly, her character. You can't even tell, like this is the second time that I watched the trailer and like, it's still kind of hard to tell that she's there and that she's a girl. The first time I watched it, I thought...
Wait, there's a girl?
Yeah, the first time I watched it, I thought they left her out of the book completely. You can see her... Let's see if I can find her. No. That one right there.
Who's that man?
Hold on. Okay, right here.
That's a girl?
I think so.
Wasn't it Seth Green?
No, Seth Green is this kid. Seth Green is going to be Richie, the one with the inhaler. And then, so basically Beverly from the book is supposed to have these long, flowing, like, red locks. And, like, that's, like, her thing.
No, they just made her a boy.
Yeah. It looks
That's
like
strange.
Looks like they made her hair very short. And then another thing that's not entirely faithful is Bill, this Dane DeHaan, mini-me looking guy, supposed to have a really bad speech impediment. He's supposed to stutter all the time. Didn't stutter once in this entire trailer. It's a little suspicious. It makes me think that maybe they're leaving it out of the entire movie, or maybe what they're going to do is they're going to have him develop the stutter in between the first movie and the second movie. Like he's so traumatized he develops the stutter. We'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. I'm a little bit more excited for this than I was when they were just releasing the production stills, but Stephen King adaptations have had not the best track record. I mean, you got stuff that's really great, like Shining, and even arguably The Mist. Like, I know people have problems with The Mist, like especially the ending. I love that movie. I think that's one of the better Stephen King adaptations there have been. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, you've got stuff like Maximum Overdrive, or The Night Flyer, or I don't know, a bunch of the other garbage adaptations that they've done. What's weird to me is that a lot of the good Stephen King adaptations are not his horror. Like, you get all the really critically acclaimed ones like Stand By Me, or The Green Mile, or The Shawshank Redemption.
It's like those are the easier ones to adapt.
That's probably true as well. But yeah, it's going to be split into 2 parts. I'm interested to see if they actually do get to that second part, and if like this one doesn't do well enough financially, they might scrap the whole project. But second part is going to be when they're adults and they have to fight it again.
Okay.
What did you think? As like somebody who's not familiar with.
It just looked like a dumb horror movie with clowns. That's it. I don't see anything else about it. It just seems like a horror movie with clowns. Or one clown, I guess, which is fine. But I don't like the problem is I don't remember anything about seeing half of it that first time either. But it looks like it'll at least probably be scary. Like, even if it doesn't stay faithful to the source material, that clown's gonna scare the shit out of a lot of people.
And I think the movie's gonna live and die on Bill Skarsgård, right? One of the Skarsgårds.
It's Bill.
Bill Skarsgård's performance as Pennywise. Like, the directing is gonna play a big role too. The script is gonna play a big role, but like, it's gonna live and die on his shoulders. Like, what everybody remembers about the first one, because the first one was a really crappy 1990s made-for-TV movie with funnily enough, Seth Green from Robot Chicken, who it doesn't look like they're going to do it because the kid doesn't look enough like him, but I had my fingers crossed they would bring him back to play adult Richie.
They might.
And he'd be up for it. They'd be like, hey man, you want to be Richie? And
Robot Chicken's not doing so good. Really? You'll pay me?
So yeah, like, it's, I'll see it. I'm going to see it.
Alright.
And then we'll do another episode of this where we'll complain about it the entire time.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say about it. This was mostly John's show.
Yep.
I'm the guest this episode.
How's it feel? And
Fine.
You got that kid from Stranger Things on there. Let's see,
Which one? Is it that one?
I think it's this kid. I think it's the kid who plays Will. You can pull it up on IMDb because that's what I did.
No, we don't do
And
that here.
it's serious. It's one of the kids from Stranger Things. So that's gonna be real
Good for
distracting.
him, making money.
I mean,
He was barely in Stranger Things.
I don't know. Oh, speaking of that, I'm calling it right now. Millie Bobby Brown, the girl who played 11, has been cast in the Godzilla sequel, Godzilla King of the Monsters.
She plays Godzilla.
I'm calling it right now. She's going to play the twin priestesses of Mothra. So it's on the record. When this comes out,
I don't know what he's
a
talking
long
about.
time from now,
I don't know what that is.
I called it. Okay? Cool. Moving on. You have anything else to...
No, I'm good. You
Okay.
good?
I'm good.
Alright, before my camera cuts, thanks for watching.
Put in a jump scare right at the end of just like random footage.
Footage from the original.
Yeah. You should.
I'll see what I can do.
You should cut in footage.
Why are you saying it? You could have just told me after we cut. Jump scare. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you guys possibly in the next one. John, anything you want to add? Alright, bye everyone. Way to go, John. Yes. So I thought of questions I wanted to ask John about it since I
Yes.
haven't read the book or really seen the movies. He just talked about it, so
Yeah.
it's not as
We're doing it again.
yeah, it's gonna feel a lot more forced, which is why I don't like doing multiple takes. But we're doing it anyways. So John, who is Pennywise? What is Pennywise?
So Pennywise, long story short, is a monster, and he chooses to kill you based on your fear. And so his standard form, like I said earlier, is that of a clown. One, because like back in the 1950s, presumably small town when the book was written, you'd expect a clown to be there, you'd expect a clown to be around children. You see in the trailer that's actually how he gets Georgie, the kid in the raincoat, who's Bill, the other kid with like the Dane DeHaan haircut, his brother. That's how he gets him the first time. he offers him his boat back and his balloon back, and like lures him down into the sewer to kill him. So he adopts the clown persona most of the time to get to kids, to attract them to him at first so he can kill him. Over the course of the book and the TV movie though, when he's hunting, when he's preying on the kids, he attacks them based on whatever their worst fears are. Like there's a point in the book when he becomes a pterodactyl, or there's a point where he becomes
It's still dumb.
like what is it, like the creature from the Black Lagoon. And there's a point, it looked like they had it in the trailer, where his hand starts to morph and the kids go to fight him in that old broken down house. And they just previously watched a werewolf movie, like at the drive-in. So he starts morphing into this like grotesque mixture between a clown and a werewolf. And like it's real spooky. But the fact of the matter is, like if you've ever heard like people complain about it and they're like, yeah, it all ends with a giant stupid spider puppet. Pennywise itself, or the creature that calls itself Pennywise, is actually this huge interdimensional like being. And like its true nature like is so strange that like normal people can't perceive it without being driven completely insane. Like parts of its body are called like the deadlights, and like if you see them, like it drives you crazy. And then like, but of course because it's a TV movie made in the 90s, they can't portray that, so they basically have him transform into a giant spider in the sewers. We're probably not going to see that here because that doesn't happen until the second half of the book when the kids are fighting him as adults. So he's probably going to stay a clown for the majority of this time. I'm hoping they leave a lot of that interdimensional stuff out because
Sounds kind of weird.
it gets kind of weird and stupid. There's stuff about his natural enemy is an interdimensional space turtle called the Turtle.
Why?
And
How does that make sense?
They have to.
How is that a spider's natural enemy?
They fight him using this Tibetan demon exorcising ritual involving tongue biting and telling jokes. It gets kind of weird. So
Stephen King seems like a weird guy. Okay.
you have any other questions about?
No, that was the main one.
But yeah, what's interesting is that it's also implied that he's part of the wider Dark Tower verse.
Wait, really?
Yeah, so early in his career, Stephen King, well, I'd say maybe midway through his career, started leaving Easter eggs in a lot of his works, connecting them to one to another. Like for instance, in his novel The Dreamcatcher, well, first of all, there's the fact that everything takes place in Maine. Like, never go to Maine because you're gonna get killed by one of Stephen King's
There's a
monsters.
statue of him in Maine.
There's gonna be. There's not already.
I'll fund it.
But in Dreamcatcher, for instance, like there's a piece of graffiti like carved into a public bathroom or something that says Pennywise lives, or like oh, there's another one. There's a character in it who I think is going to show up in the movie who's related to the groundskeeper from The Shining. It might actually be the groundskeeper from The Shining, but he's also got the shine. And so all of this stuff is connected together in the Dark Tower universe, which they're also adapting with Idris Elba.
Yeah, that I know, and Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Okay.
I personally hate that series. I hate that series of books.
I started reading it in the comics. I don't like it.
I think
it's
I
weird.
think it's weird and stupid.
Characters are cool. They have cool names.
Yeah.
The Gunslinger and
Roland.
the Man in Black.
Yep.
Those are just cool names. I feel like they're generic cowboy names, though.
And like the whole
Wasn't
project.
the Man in Black in Magnificent Seven?
Yeah, and the Man in Black's Johnny Cash too. So it's like,
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
a lot of Men in Black.
yeah.
Oh, and
Will Smith,
yeah.
star of our favorite
Tommy Lee
movie,
Jones,
Wild Wild West.
which we'll review when we
Eventually.
get to 200 subscribers.
Yes.
2,000 subscribers.
It's gonna be however long that movie is, like an hour and a half, real time
Actually,
video.
we'll watch it every day for a year if we get to 2,000 subscribers.
No.
Every day for a month.
No.
Every week for a month.
No. I'll watch half of it.
Twice in 1 month.
I'll watch the trailer for it.
Twice in 1 month.
Alright, fine.
Once if you get us to 2,000 subscribers, we'll watch it twice in 1 month.
It's gonna be Super Size Me, but instead we watch Will Smith's Wild Wild West every day for 30 days.
Yes. Anything else you want to say about Pennywise?
No.
Okay.
I mean, there's a pretty bad band. named
Oh,
after
yeah.
him.
Well,
We just lost ourselves some subscribers.
my 45 subscribers. No. Thanks for watching this other clip for the video. Please subscribe so I can make money and fund that Stephen King statue in Maine. John, anything you wanna? Okay. See you guys in the next video.